I don't know where I would be with a cancer diagnosis. I have no idea how to answer a question of where would you have gone, what help would you have sought, who would have helped you. I don't know where I would be if there was no Shepherd's Hope.
Hope is the realization at Shepherd's Hope of filling a need that people have. People that feel devastated, they don't know where to go, they're having health problems. And this is an avenue that opens up for them to help them in that regard.
I was educated with a BA Fine Arts and certification for teaching. I taught for many years. While I was teaching, at the end of 1 year, I went profoundly deaf, right side. That took me out of the classroom. I was unable to afford the COBRA payments, and it took me out of the world of being insured as well.
My contact with Lynn, as she has experienced some health problems and some other struggles in her life, really came to that point where pastors a lot of times don't know where to tell people to go. And because of our relationship with Shepherd's Hope over the years, it's been a tremendous blessing for us when people have particular medical needs to be able to say, well, here's a place where you can go and where I promise you they will be able to point you in the right direction.
I started to have severe leg and knee pain, left side. It reached a point where I could no longer walk. I had to borrow crutches from a friend, and I was praying, Lord, where do I go? You know, who's going to help me? I need medical attention. I can't walk anymore. And the words Shepherd's Hope kept coming to mind as I prayed.
So after reading the diagnosis that she had, which was a real serious diagnosis, I knew the basic things I needed to tell her, but also I wanted to be very sensitive as we began to take that journey and really talk about this diagnosis.
When he told me that I had cancer, he took the time to say, I am so sorry. And then he paused and allowed me to take it in as best you can. And in that moment that I was fragmenting into a million pieces is when he grabbed my hands and said, I would like to pray with you. Within 12 hours of getting my diagnosis from Dr. Guarneri, I was in my pastor's office. It was the first place that I went to get prayer. The thing that was weighing heaviest on me immediately was, how do I tell the children? I'm a single mom. He had a wonderful prayer for me, and he reminded me, Lynn, you started in this church when your children were in kindergarten and first grade. They are now 23 and 20 years old. They are adults. You've given them everything they need, as has this church, to be equipped to handle what you're going to tell them and to allow them to be your support now. And it was a way that I had never looked at it, and it gave me the strength to tell my children.
So here I had to deliver this devastating diagnosis to Lynn, and she was going to go forward, but I was very uncomfortable that it would end with my assistance. And that kind of prompted me to go forward. And knowing the infrastructure of Florida Hospital, that led me to call the breast cancer coordinators and things. Then really things got started, and they were unbelievable to help her in coordinated visits with my colleagues, who, again, essentially volunteered their time. So it was a big, huge team effort that was actually a journey that took just about a year and actually continues right now.
Lynn is amazing. Lynn definitely isn't the typical patient that we would expect to see, but she came through. She has amazing faith, and I don't know how she does it all, but she's been, I think, a blessing to us, maybe even more than we have been to her.
I would say to anyone in my situation, if you've never had insurance, if you've had insurance and lost insurance, if you are medically needy in any way and you're lost as to where can I go, or even believing there is no hope for you, There is hope. There is a place. There are doctors and nurses. There are caseworkers. There are loving, caring, educated, wonderful people that are going to help you and put you on a path to recovery and give you the hope that you don't have in the moment.
You know, there really is hope for patients when you talk to them, because when you deliver a diagnosis like this, all of a sudden they feel they're in this big black tunnel and they don't see the light at the end of it. And when you talk to them and you mention that you're going to take this journey with them, that begins, they get a little glimmer of that light and they do get that sense of hope.
Know that there is hope, that there are doctors and nurses, there are people that care. Go to Shepherd's Hope and you will find all of that there.